hope your lunch was as good as mine, and we are coming out of the food coma now. We are awake now. So, can I hear a hello from every one of you? Great. So, most of the people came out. Few are coming out. So, guys, today what we're gonna do is we are not gonna deep dive into the tech part of it, but I'm kind of gonna share a kind of journey what we are having. Okay. So our topic will be cost optimize observability, how we can handle, the seasonal spikes with the Elastic Stack, what we are doing, how we have done it, how we reached here, what was the problem statement, and why we chose Elastic as our solution, and what are our, scope in the future, like how we're gonna take the solution ahead. Okay. So just to give you an idea, this gonna be a kind of very relatable case to everyone who all are working into the organization, specifically DevOps, SecOps, and the teams who are looking forward for a good observability solutions, but they have kind of budget margins because tools are quite expensive in the market. Or you can say you're looking for a solution which can give you a 360 view of your infrastructure, your security perspectives, and can also help you in remediating the problems that you're facing in the real time. So let's just proceed with this one. So before going to the things like what are the challenges and everything, we need to understand a little bit of background, okay, so that you guys can also relate to it. So first of all, I'm going to tell you like who we are, what kind of problems generally we face. Okay, so Joint Ventures is basically a brand of parent of the brands, multiple brands like IGP, Interflora.in, IGP for Business, and IGP Dubai. All these domains are basically well known in the gifting e-commerce. Okay, we are one of the rising gifting e-commerce platform in India and abroad. Okay, we also hold a kind of Guinness Book of World Record in making the longest Rakhi chain, which held at Jaipur. Okay, which was approximately 45 kilometers long. Okay, so this is a kind of a brief about the organization. Now, what generally happens in these kinds of scenarios in the e-commerce? Uh, when you work with the e-commerce, it looks like a very simple thing that someone is going onto the website, someone has published the products, and you bought it. Okay, but there is a long story behind that. The simple platform. One important thing is the backend operations, how the backend operations held, how the inventory is being held. Okay, specifically when you are into the genre, when you are managing your own delivery chain. Okay, so at IGP, definitely we manage our delivery chain, like that we have our in-house systems, in-house panels, which will give us all the information about, inventories and everything, and where the delivery is there, and some integrations are there with our partners as well. Now the problem here is, you need to manage a plethora of, panels, and, you need to monitor them all the time. And during the festival, you need to keep the track of the panels at the back end, like, if they are working all the time and not, if someone is not hacking them. Another part is to that you have given access to a lot of vendors who can misplace their credentials, or basically leak out the credentials and other thing, and you need to always keep an eye on those incidents as well. Okay, so moving to the next part, few of the major challenges that we have is like during our season time, generally on the BAUs you handle a very less amount of data, but during your season time your traffic spikes up like 6 times, 10 times, 8 times, 100 times at times. Okay, so in our case we handle somewhere around a data of 1.2 TB a day during our season time. We have a very lean operation teams because we still have a startup culture, and generally what happens, it is very difficult to find sometimes the good DevOps engineer who can collaborate and who can do and keep an eye on all the things. So we have a very lean team. Another part is like now how you monitor all the things across it. Like you have your cloud. In our case, we have AWS. Okay. Then we have certain other compliance that we have to comply on, like GDPR, and we have to get ISO ready. Sometimes it is a requirement from our partners in the business, like you need to be SOC ready. So we need to get ready for all those compliances. So the security becomes another aspect of it. Now, how to achieve that from a very lean team is like to have a single platform where you can see everything all together and on a single user experience. Basically, you don't need to train your team for all the different segments like They have to see a different UI for security, for the log aggregations and all. So that will save a lot of time and lot of cost for us. Okay. Now, how we architected that solution, why we selected Elasticsearch is the reason that Elasticsearch is the only tool right now we have found in the market that provide the 360 visibility across all the platform. Like for example, if we found any particular thing like related to APM, we have the APM there. If we want to do the universal profiling, we have the universal profiling there. If you want to work with scene, we have the same there. And if you need a unified experience, you want to reuse all your information, you need to use all your logs there, then what you can do is like you can have everything on a single platform. This also saves us some cost of re-ingesting the data to the different platforms. Generally, what happens when we have a different security platform, we have a different observability platform, we are ingesting the similar kind of data to the security platform, to reparse it, and that will add up to the additional cost to the number of calls to the cloud provider, your bandwidth cost, and all those things, and also the disk space. And if you are using object storage, then the object storage as well. With Elastic, we just have one platform. We are ingesting data only once. The same observability data that is coming from our application, that is coming from our infrastructure, just get ingested just one. And we are using our SIM jobs, ML jobs over that data to parse them for the security logics. And we are analyzing all the security loopholes. The same data is also showing us like what is going wrong in our system. We are troubleshooting over that data. Let's suppose if a particular incident happened in our application. So basically to track that incident, we just have the common experience throughout that. We receive one alert, we go to our APM, we see what alert is there. It will help us in pointing it out like what infrastructure is causing a problem or what application code is causing a problem. If we have received a similar alert related to security as well in the same time frame, then we also able to understand that we can correlate these two incidents. And Elastic provides a complete flexibility to correlate those events and reach to the right root cause of the problem. Just to give you an idea, this is a kind of a very simple architecture that we have. Okay. Now, the another problem is whenever we have any particular solution, the observability solution there, generally what problems happen with us is like, when we are paying to the different cloud vendors, we are paying the base pricing is based on the data. The pricing is sometimes based on to the features. Pricing is gets slabbed into various constraints. With Elastic, what we have done is like we have went with our in-house setup, which is kind of very simple. And the idea was to reduce the cost as much as possible and to make sure like uh, how we can reuse the data and how we can give the retention that our user needs. Because think about if you are keeping the data for 10 days, the cost will be different. If you are keeping the data for 20 days, the cost will be different. Now, how you can optimize that cost? Specifically, when you are into the cloud, if you're using the disk, you're using the different resources. As your data increase, your compute and memory will also increase. Okay. To tackle this particular problem, what we have done, we have went with the Elastic Enterprise subscription, which actually gives you the access for the frozen tier. Okay. The AI part and some other analysis that can help you in optimizing your data and the deduplication of that. So what we have done is like we are using a very small cluster. At Amazon, as we are on Amazon, so we are using NVMe disk. So now the dependency, we have coupled the dependency of disk and the memory completely from the system. Okay. So now we are using the instances that are well capable of our CPU. We are keeping the data on a high optimized disk. And with the frozen tier, we are immediately shipping that data to the S3. Now S3 storage is much cheaper than our disk, the block storages. So what exactly happened with the frozen tier? Whenever our disk storage or the basically you can say the index for a particular observability parameter get fills in, it automatically gets rotated by using the Elastic life cycles, and it will get automatically converted to the frozen tier and get uploaded to the S3 bucket. Okay, with frozen tier, the search is quite fast, and as we have now more memory, which is not working on to the number of shards staying at the disk, it is getting used to do the search operations on our S3. So overall, the summary is like, with this particular setup, after multiple trials, after multiple round of performance testing, we were able somewhere to reduce 75% of our cost from the storage, 20 to 40% cost on our infrastructure for hosting any solution or basically paying to any provider. Okay, and it's just happening in one enterprise unit of Elastic. Basically, this is the one enterprise unit is basically one of the parameter which Elastic provides. It's generally of 64 GB. Okay. So overall memory that we are using to parse this 1.2 TB of data, we are just using somewhere around 48 GB of memory out of that. So this is how our setup work. For future roadmap, what we are doing is like, as Elastic has a lot of capability for AI. So what we are doing is like we are integrating AI to do our RCAs. Okay. So like if any incident happens, AI will automatically, jumps in. It will give the user that, okay, this is the root cause, instead of, searching out for at different two locations or correlating. That correlation summary will automatically come to our panels. This is still a work in progress. We are also looking forward to move to semantic search and some AI chatbots for our internal panels as well as for our customers. And as recently we have achieved one goal, like we are automating QA by using AI agents for doing the sanity on our website. Um, any questions, guys? That's all from my side.